Hey there, guys. The Final Fantasy IV event was announced on Global this week, which means our next series boss battle is actually going to be Zeromus, the final boss of Final Fantasy IV. So I'll be previewing the fight and showing it with Palom and Porom, which is the new mage being released on Global. They're probably going to be buffed on Global, but we're going to be using them on JP anyway. This is Gonzi's. They're geared pretty well. Got some Demon Killer equipped. For DPS, I don't have Palom and Porom, so I'll be using CG Darkfina, and she can chain with Palom and Porom pretty well. She's got decent magic. The stats of your DPS don't really matter for survival. Elephant will be our breaker and buffer. Now, the magic tank wants 200% fire resist. You can use a buff if you want. I decided to go with just gear and skip buffing. It's a little bit easier. Other than that, you want high spirit and high hit points, because Zeromus does hit pretty hard with magic. Luna Freya is going to be our mitigation buffer, because, like I said, magical mitigation is a big deal here. Other than that, her stats don't matter. Warrior of Light will be our passive provoke evasion tanker for the single target physical. Other than that, he'll be doing heals and mitigation, that kind of stuff. Alright, so that's basically the whole fight. This fight is relatively simple. It's, most series boss battles these days are kind of basic. The only tricky thing here is Big Bang from Zeromus can hit pretty hard, so you got to be careful about that. There's going to be an ambush where he drops just the 1 hit point, so it's fine. Don't freak out. Or, not 1, but low hit points. Alright, so let's just cure Rager twice to top off Charlotte. Elephant will break. We'll do, let's see, magic mitigation and general mitigation. Charlotte will cover magic. And, let's see, Darkfina will power up. And we're going to chain fire, because that's the only element Palom and Porom actually have is fire. Alright, so this is not going to chain the first turn. This is like the setup turn. But next turn it'll be better. Alright, so this is going to be an Ultimate Flare and a Maelstrom again. The Maelstrom is the gravity attack, so we took damage, but it's gravity, so you can kind of ignore that. It wasn't real damage. Now we're just going to chain fire every turn with the mages. Let's see, fire. And they chain together. Elephant will give us a buff and a mana regen. Charlotte will do magical mitigation. Alright. And the mages are, of course, still currently stacking up their damage. Warrior of Light will just double Curaja. And let's see. We'll fill limit twice with Luna Freya. So we can try to get Charlotte's limit next turn if possible. Here's a meteor. It's going to hit a little bit hardish, but not too bad. We've got lots of mitigation right now. Alright, next turn is going to be a double flare. But you don't really got to worry about that, because it's fire damage. We're completely immune to it. Do that. Let's go ahead and chain our mages. Now you can use physical damage here if you want. Mages are totally optional. I'm just doing it because it's Palom and Porom and it's his series boss battle. We're actually going to get dispelled kind of soonish. But I'm going to go ahead and use her limit anyway. Let's see. Let's refresh this. And let's keep filling limit gauge. Warrior of Light can just single cast a heal this time. Alright, this is going to be the Ultimate Flare that I mentioned. Which does no damage. The next turn is a Big Bang and a Black Hole. Big Bang is a big AoE nuke. Go into our damage first. And then Black Hole is a Dispel. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and guard Charlotte, and we're going to single target mitigate on Charlotte, so she really survives this Black Hole. But it does kind of hurt, like, let's be honest. And let's fill limit gauge again, so we can get Charlotte's limit for us after this Dispel. Alright, here's the Big Bang. Okay, it really didn't hit that hard, because, like I said, I was guarding with so much mitigation stacked up on her, so it was fine. But there was a Dispel. And the Dispel, by the way, is an AoE Dispel for the entire battlefield, including Zeromus. We lost all his breaks and his debuffs, etc. Now, Elephant does re-break automatically at the start of the turn, so that's kind of nice. And she rebuffs and all. Let's see. Alright, we're gonna... Who has the better Fire in Peril? I could Fire in Peril with Palom, but it'd break the chain because I'm using 2 different units. So we're gonna Imperil instead with Dark Fina. And then just keep quad casting. Alright. We'll re-put up mitigation. Like I said, we got completely dispelled. We need all these buffs again. Let's magic mitigate, let's stat buff. And actually we don't need a stat buff because we've got Elephant. I didn't even think of that. Oh well. So next the rotation is going to start over again. He's going to Maelstrom and Flare on this next turn. So truthfully, it doesn't really matter what Warrior Blight does because we're going to get healed or dropped to 1 hit point anyway. So he'll just chain for some crystals. All right, here's the Flare and the Maelstrom. Now the Maelstrom is the AoE gravity attack. It's just going to deal percentile damage. You know, doesn't really matter. Next is going to be a Meteor. So we'll guard Charlotte just so she survives that Meteor. I mean, she'd survive anyway, but the only danger in this fight is if your magic tank dies. And even that's not really dangerous. All right, I think we lost Quadcast at this point. We did. So we're going to reapply it with both the mages. And this is going to be kind of like a dead turn. I'll use a limit on Luna Freya as well. Alright, so here's the Flare and the Meteor. Now the Flare is Fire Elemental, it does no damage. The Meteor is pretty minor. We're guarding Charlotte and everything, so it's no big deal. Alright, next turn is going to be... we might actually push the Threshold here, so let me see if that happens first. Oh, did I forget to use my cooldown? Really? Did I do this wrong? Ugh. Okay. I think I did this wrong. It's actually going to break the chain, so let's use... let's use some other skills. Oh, shoot. I didn't chain it. Oh, well. So I messed that up pretty bad. It's fine. We'll get more damage next turn. Alright. Is Charlotte's limit ready? It's not, so we'll do that. And that. And Warrior Blight can just guard because this is going to be a 0 damage turn. Alright. Now we've got Quadcast again. We're probably going to push the Threshold now that we're actually chaining. Let me do my buff. Alright, let's see if we push that Threshold. Alright, we did. So this is going to be just a Maelstrom and a Black Hole. So nothing's really going to happen here, and we're going to get dispelled anyway, so we can just do a mana regen. We can just kind of like pass the turn. And there's the Dispel. So with that Dispel, we need to re-imperil and Quadcast. Let's see. And then don't forget that Dispel also dispelled the boss himself. But we do have Elephant who re-breaks and rebuffs automatically, which is kind of cheating, but yeah. So let's see. So now it's turn 9. Nothing bad's happening on turn 9, so we'll just do general rebuffing. And Warrior Blight can heal. So now the boss's attack pattern kind of changes a little bit. Oh, he's doing Big Bang. I didn't realize that. Well, there you go. As you see, we can still survive Big Bang without using Warrior Flight's big mitigation. But my Charlotte is really beefy, which is part of the reason. That won't always be the case. And that was a black hole as well. We got fully dispelled. So we need to reapply all the buffs again. Let's put up the big mitigation and healing. That buff. Let's see, let's heal. And we need to imperil again. So we'll imperil and double chain. Or triple chain. I did do that right, didn't I? Let's see. Yeah, imperil and triple chain. I did. Okay. And let's keep doing our damage. So on turn 13, there's the Maelstrom. On turn 13, we're going to get another Big Bang. Let's see, Charlotte can do that. Or like can just heal again. We weren't dispelled or anything, we weren't, so we're good there. But we did lose the buff from him. Let's do that. And let's have Fina use her limit here to reactivate Quadcast. This is kind of like a rebuff turn. Alright, I kind of lost track of... Oh, we're going to get mana drained here. I forgot about that. Which is not that big a deal. We've got Luna Freya for refilling mana and such. Alright, now let's chain. Yeah, there's mana drains every 4 turns below 50%, which can be a little irritating. But if you've got someone like Charlotte and Luna Freya on the team, you don't really care about mana drains, but we've got this ability. Alright, I think this might be... No, turn 13 is going to be a Big Bang. So we're just going to do a barrier here. And then chain our DPS. Yeah, Big Bang should be next turn. So we're going to want to do a big mitigation on Charlotte next round. Yeah, this is the Flare turn and the Meteor, which is fine. Alright, let me chain, and reactivate Quadcast at the end of the chain. And I'll do that same thing with Palom. Go ahead and do that first. Alright, so we're going to guard Charlotte. We're going to obstructing defense on Charlotte. Luna Freya. Like, we're not going to die here, but let's just AoE re-raise because why not? We do have it available. And then Luna Freya will break. Alright, here's the Big Bang and the Flare. We've got Charlotte guarding, we've got mitigation, we've got Warrior Blight obstructing defense. So yeah, Charlotte took like no damage. People say like this is impossible to survive. Are you Magic Tank? That's not the case. That is really not the case. Actually, I think, yeah, Black Hole. Oh no, he didn't cast Black Hole that turn, so we don't need to worry about imperils and all that. Alright, so let's go ahead and chain again. And I think we just won here. We did. Okay, so there's 14 turns with Palom and Porom and Dark Fina. Now, disclaimer, Palom and Porom is very weak on the Japanese server, so is Dark Fina, compared to global. Well, we don't know what Palom and Porom are going to be on global. But on the JP server, Dark Fina is much weaker than global. Palom and Porom is a little bit weak as well, so that'll probably be a lot quicker with global buffs. Or you could use, you know, physical DPS, that's totally fine. But there's the basic flow of the fight for Zeromus. Alright. I'll see you guys when it comes on global. Later.